When you think of West Virginia, you always hear the song, Almost Heaven, West Virginia. It really is.
Approximately 60 million visitors come to the Mountain State each year to escape urban life and enjoy whitewater rafting, hiking, mountain biking, ATV trails, spectacular country vistas, small towns, culture and heritage, and entertainment. Tourism has grown to become one of the largest economic sectors in West Virginia, supporting over 40,000 jobs. Voices of Change, stories of tourism development in West Virginia.
It didn't just happen that Thomas perhaps has a very different feel than Parsons or Davis. It goes back over 100 years to where you have one town, Thomas, which was a coal mining town. And so you have a town that was built with families and Eastern Europeans and African Americans. Now you compare it to a town like Davis, which was a lumber town. A lot of transient people coming in to work. You go down to Parsons, there was a far more traditional, that was the county seat, and you had manufacturing.
Downtown Thomas is the National Historic District, and more artists moving to town, more musicians moving to town, more people that are buying homes.
What we were trying to accomplish was to portray this area as an arts destination.
You know, there's a couple classic pictures of Davis when it was first being formed with the name Stumptown under its logging era photos. And we really wanted to merge the old and the new together and create a cohesive look and feel for the town here, and I think we've done that.
Davis is a wonderful place. I mean, you think of the opportunities for golf and hiking and fishing and swimming and biking.
So Tucker County as a whole is majority of public land. So there's tons of outdoor rec. We have 2 state park, national wildlife refuge, wilderness area. There's just tons of land and trails.
Mountain biking came to Davis in the mid-'80s. It's very few places you can actually be in a town and park in a town and leave on your bicycle and go 3 different directions and have over 100 miles of single track to yourself, and you come right back into a town where you can grab a burger and some food and lodging. And you can park your car for 5 days straight and never get back in it.
You see, Kenai Valley was very isolated. We were farmers. But then once the ski area came and they built the lodge, tourism changed.
It's kind of a unique part in the fact that it's truly a 4-season resort. What makes us that 4-season is we have a ski area.
Timberline is a ski area, trying our best to become a 4 Seasons destination area. We see an average of 80 to 90,000 people each year during the ski season.
Tucker County continues to change and grow. The ski areas are complementing the breweries, and the breweries are complementing the art movement, and the art movement is helping the restaurants, and they're all making it into this unique dynamic of a place to come and experience tourism.
There's something here, I don't know what it is. It's a deep-rooted rural culture. There's a vibe, and it's hard to explain.
I would say that it's the most underutilized cool area I've ever seen in the U.S. right now is Tucker County. I mean, you can do every sport in the world here, and it's not overrun, and it's still undiscovered.
As you listen to the community's story, think about these 4 questions. What was accomplished? How did they do it? Who was involved? What opportunities and challenges are they facing? Successful community tourism development is built on communication, partnerships, a community vision, and a long-term commitment to bring that vision to fruition. It embraces 5 core values: maintaining authenticity and a sense of place, providing a quality experience, economic diversification, obstacles to opportunities, and shared benefits and local control. Community tourism development maintains a commitment to the community's authenticity and sense of place. It recognizes, preserves, and enhances the community's assets and values while remaining open to sustainable growth and change.
We don't want to detract from the natural beauty here. And so we have one traffic light in Tucker County. I'd love to see it stay that way, but I don't think anybody wants to see unmanaged growth.
Quarter H, which is that 4-lane highway that's coming this way. It's cut the driving time from DC.
The road's beautiful, and I think as it progresses, you're going to see numbers go up even more.
Canaan Valley has zoning. Somebody wanted to put in a water park. Some people want to put in trailer parks. But because they fought very hard for zoning, we don't have that.
People are aware of keeping things authentic, having small antique shops and breweries and restaurants that are non-chain. People appreciate and want to experience that.
I definitely think the cultural experience of the guests that come up here is crucial. I would say that what originally was drawing them here certainly would be the outdoor rec. But a lot of the common theme that I hear when I'm talking to these guests is that neat West Virginia hospitality and culture, the arts, the music was what they're there for.
Taking advantage of that and not losing our quality of life in the process is going to be kind of our biggest challenge.
But I hope it can develop and protect the land, the face of the communities, the face of the towns, and enrich what we know we already have here.
Successful community tourism provides a quality experience for both visitors and residents. Visitors leave satisfied, excited to return, and eager to share their experiences. Residents maintain a high quality of life and a positive attitude toward tourism.
I came here and I just felt welcomed. I felt welcomed as a community member immediately, not just as a tourist.
Well, I think in a lot of ways that hospitality comes naturally from the people of West Virginia. Most time they're just friendly, approachable people. But certainly always trying to increase that level of hospitality is important.
That's one of the secrets of a good business, is that you get the same people and you know them. So you create this personal thing, and you like folks that are going to come down a dirt road at the end of nowhere and spend all their free time and money at your place. And you see these people that just adore the terrain and the food and the whole value system that we represent.
Well, they hear about us first, and then once they get here, they know why they've heard about us. And it's everything. The community welcomes them. All the creative people in Thomas welcome them and love hanging out with them and talking to them about music and writing songs. And
one of the advantages of having a small business is that it's quiet and it's not rushed and it's not hurried. And that if you have a business that makes people feel good and warm and they want to be part of it, that's the magic.
And I feel like that's part of the Purple Fiddle's job, is to help people be more tolerant of people of different races and religions and sexual preferences and colors.
Everyone up here realizes that we're all in this together, and just providing that guest experience is what's going to bring them back.
Tourism can be a component of a successful economic development strategy, but cannot on its own sustain the entire community. However, the amenities offered by tourism development often entice other industries and workers seeking to relocate, further strengthening the region's economic base.
We're seeing people being attracted to living in a place like this, and every year we're seeing more and more.
We gave up our lives in Northern Virginia and we started a new business venture. We opened Stumptown Ales, which is a craft brewery here in West Virginia.
I love to mountain bike, cross-country ski, love to be outdoors, so was here visiting on a family vacation, saw the building for sale, and that's the end of the story.
We need to focus on smaller scale entrepreneurs that want to live here for the qualities that the county already has.
In the bank building, the space that I have is my studio and office. I could never afford anywhere in DC. But I'm able to do the type of work that I would do in a big city. I could market myself to places that would pay more, and I still have a lower cost of living here and a lower cost of operation. If someone was maybe a little bit more aggressive than I am, that they could build a big media company here without a problem. So I don't think it's necessarily tourism or coal. I think that there are things in between.
Our project, the Highland Food and Farm Market, is based on the fact that we have locals here interested in purchasing as well as tourism here is purchasing. So that brings healthier, more quality food, which brings more food to the local farmers, which helps the local communities.
And we're suffering a big brain drain in West Virginia, and I find tourism would be a way to turn that around because it brings in diversity, it brings in people who have new ideas, And with technology, it's easier for them to set up and operate here.
Obstacles to growth are inherent. Successful communities recognize these obstacles, frame them as opportunities, and actively seek solutions for positive economic, social, and environmental outcomes.
One of the biggest challenges in running a tourist business is the seasonality of it. Just overwhelmed with people on certain weekends, and then we can be very slow.
I would say the biggest downside to running a business in this town is the lack of employees.
A lot of the jobs are fairly low paying and they're seasonal. It's very hard to plan and support a family.
But they tend to work 3 jobs at a time to get by. I don't see a lot of full-time jobs with tourism as their main business. We got to get better at our consistency of hours and being open. You can often go down the street in Thomas and there's lots of businesses that are closed.
They're not open midweek, they're only open on a weekend because it's not probably as cost effective for them to be open full time then. And that's a struggle for the tourist that comes up.
One of the things that right now would prevent us from growing a whole lot is lack of services, primarily hospitals, clinics.
We don't really have 24/7 coverage on the weekends when so many of our tourists are in the valley.
We know we have one of the most beautiful places there are in existence to ride a bike. It's not necessarily the easiest place to ride a bicycle. So we know that we lack true beginner terrain, and we also lack built obstacle terrain that current mountain bikers look forward to. So in identifying that, we know what we want to do better.
Community tourism development is most effective when the community speaks with a shared voice. Partnerships, dialogue, and recognition of the community's varied interests and attractions encourage local ownership and support for development and marketing initiatives. By working towards shared goals, government, business, and residents can create synergies that benefit the entire community.
We're a small community. We have to be a part of the community, and we have to market the community. They come, they ski, they have lunch, they have breakfast, they go out, they go to the Fiddle, they come here to Stumptown, they experience Davis, Thomas, Tucker County.
We're all trying to grow the customer base in Tucker County together, and together we create a bigger attraction for Tucker County. And we can't do it by ourselves. So we got to cooperate in order to build that customer base.
But I think it's important that everybody be at the table to have that dialogue so that Davis knows what Thomas is doing, what Parsons is doing, what Hendricks is doing, so that there's some continuity and consistency and some agreement that this is what's best, not just for your community, but for the entire county.
I'm very fortunate for the grants that we've received and the hardworking community members that have put in blood, sweat, and tears and work into it all.
The gist of our mission is to connect those trails that exist on all the public lands here and be able to kind of present the trail system as a whole, instead of as all these multiple parts.
Really like to see that next generation step up and take it on, because it is all of the same people working hard right now, but we need to keep that momentum going. They can't do it all by themselves.
The key elements of tourism: a diverse attraction base, quality products and services, effective marketing, and strong partnerships do not guarantee success without a long-term vision, a plan, and a commitment throughout the community to make it work.
I envision Tucker County being what Vermont is to New York. I would like to see Tucker County be that to DCers, where they come, they escape, they enjoy the area, but they take care of it. They appreciate the beauty and are willing to invest in the community.
What I see as a really important part to it sustaining itself is just continuing to develop the identity of a highly impressive and diverse arts destination.
I think there needs to be a bit of a vision, just because I think things can get out of control. We're talking about things like zoning and getting building codes and things like that. That way you don't have just rampant development.
To have a community foundation, it's huge, not just in terms of the programs and the projects that they support, but just to witness the impact of local philanthropy. There's hardly anyone in this community that I know of that hasn't been engaged on some level, and to have that kind of grassroots support and to see how it's launched this foundation to the level that it is quite amazing.
This area is bound for glory. It's just, it always has been. We've lived here for 3.5 decades. It's just been almost perfect. It's just been a dream.
The elements of our culture, you could use any number of adjectives to describe it, but I still don't think you can put a finger on it. I think you just have to live it.
Evening, silence, clouds drift from the mountainside. I'm going home. Snow falls, countryside